You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
This would be one of the craziest trades that we've ever seen as Bears fans. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So, Bears fans, as we go through the offseason, we will hear a lot of crazy things, rumors, and reports in regard to the number one overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft. But this report that I'm about to tell you guys on today's episode of Keek on the Mic definitely already takes the cake. According to draft insider Tony Pauline, the Denver Broncos are highly active in their efforts to find a way to move up to secure one of the top quarterbacks in this draft. To me, I find this quite interesting, Bears fans, is because everyone knows at this point that head coach Sean Payton is looking for his guy, especially after he decided to bench Russell Wilson at the end of the season. So that means basically that Russell Wilson's either going to be cut or traded from the Denver Broncos. And that means the Denver Broncos are going to be in search for a new signal caller, maybe in the 2024 NFL draft. And Bears fans, according to the NFL drafts insider Tony Pauline, it already sounds like Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos understand what they may actually have to give up in order to move up to secure one of the top quarterbacks in the 2024 NFL draft. Tony Pauline had this to say on the situation, Bears fans. Last week in Frisco, Texas, a rumor circulating the Players Hotel at the Hyatt Regency had Broncos head coach Sean Payton looking for his new quarterback in the 2024 NFL draft. Payton wants one of the top passers, Caleb Williams, Drake May, or Jaden Daniels. I was able to confirm that the Broncos are interested in moving up for their quarterback of the future, yet such a move would come at an enormous cost, and it's very unlikely to happen. At present time, there's little wiggle room for any of those teams willing to move down unless a blockbuster deal is placed in front of them. And a blockbuster deal from the Denver Broncos would surely include cornerback Patrick Surtain. I'm told while the franchise doesn't want to trade Surtain, they would consider moving the corner only as a last resort to secure one of the top passers. Wow, Bears fans, to say that this is a major rumor would definitely be an understatement. And just a couple of questions that I have to start off this episode of Keek on the Mic. Firstly, do I actually believe that the Denver Broncos want a quarterback in the 2024 NFL draft? Yes, absolutely. Like I just mentioned, they benched Russell Wilson. It looks like they're going to move on from Russell Wilson this offseason. And that means Sean Payton is finally looking for his guy to lead the Denver Broncos. So yes, the Denver Broncos are going to be aggressive in adding a quarterback either during the offseason, meaning in free agency, or in the 2024 NFL draft. But do I actually think the Denver Broncos will make the jump from 12-1 in order to secure one of the top passers in Caleb Williams, Drake May, or Jaden Daniels? Absolutely not. Don't get me wrong, Bears fans. It sounds really fun if you are a Bears fan, and maybe even if you're a Broncos fan. I know there are probably a lot of different Broncos fans that want Jaden Daniels, that want Drake May, or maybe want Caleb Williams as well. But at this moment, it just seems like a huge pipe dream. And Bears fans, let me also add this. This would definitely entice Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears. Could you imagine the amount of draft capital that we would actually get from trading down to 1 to 12? It would be absolutely massive. But here's the huge problem, Bears fans. The one issue with trading down with the Denver Broncos is their lack of draft capital, actually. Currently, as it stands, they do not have a second round pick in the 2024 NFL draft. So I think that would make it really tough for the Denver Broncos to trade up with the Bears, Commanders, even the New England Patriots within the top 10. So that's why when you look at the Denver Broncos and basically their lack of draft capital, that's why this deal seems very unlikely. And don't get me wrong, Bears fans, adding one of the top young corners in the National Football League and Patrick Surtain and thinking about pairing him with a guy like Jalen Johnson would make our defense elite. And then Ryan Poles can go in free agency or maybe even the NFL draft and add an elite edge rusher. And then that would definitely complete the Chicago Bears defense, definitely for the better. But once again, Bears fans, we have to be realistic with ourselves. Trading down from 1 to 12 would be a massive risk for the Chicago Bears. I'm pretty sure that Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears want to have 2 top 10 picks in order to get guys like Olufashanu, Joe Alt, maybe Caleb Williams, maybe they want Marvin Harrison Jr., maybe they want Brock Bowers. But if you trade out of the top 10, you eliminate the chance to get any of those guys because none of those guys are going to make it at 12. Yes, you still have that number 9 overall pick as well, but I think Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears like the idea even if they move down a couple of spots, they love the idea of having 2 top 10 picks. And then once again, when you look at the Denver Broncos side of things, their lack of draft capital would definitely make this trade tough to accomplish, especially if they want to move up from 12 to all the way up to the number 1 overall spot in the 2024 NFL draft. But Bears fans, since this is a rumor going around about Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos maybe being interested in moving up within the top 10 in order to secure one of the top passers in the NFL draft this year, let's go ahead and entertain this idea and give a trade package of what the Denver Broncos could possibly offer the Chicago Bears to move all the way from 12 to number 1. It would look something like this, Bears fans. The number 12 overall pick, a number 76 overall pick in round 3, a 2025 first and second round pick, and cornerback Patrick Surtain. And let me tell you this, Bears fans, this would just be a starting point in discussions for the number 1 overall pick. Once again, it's really fun to talk about, but this is just a pipe dream. And especially when I look at the Denver Broncos point of things. Of course, I know the Denver Broncos and Sean Payton want to find their guy, but they can honestly just stay patient, in my personal opinion, and allow a guy like Michael Penix, Bo Nix, right? There's going to be some options there at number 12 overall for them to maybe scoop up at their spot, but also maybe a guy like Jaden Daniels falls to that number 6, number 7 range, maybe, and maybe they're able to trade up to number 7. That would probably be an easier jump for the Denver Broncos rather than giving up their whole draft capital in the 2024, 2025, and possibly even the 2026 NFL draft and one of their best players on their team in cornerback Patrick Surtain to move up all the way to number 1 overall spot. Once again, I understand you need a quarterback on your team to be successful. I get that, but I don't think that Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos and even Broncos fans want to mortgage their whole future to get one player. So overall, Bears fans, these are going to be the type of rumors that we're going to be used to seeing all offseason long as we get closer to the NFL draft. And they're only going to get more crazy and more aggressive as we get closer to the NFL draft. But before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. If the Denver Broncos came knocking and they gave the trade package that I showed you on today's episode of Kick on the Mic, would you accept that trade from the Denver Broncos and go all the way down to number 12 overall in the 2024 NFL draft? Let me know down below in the comment section. But all in all, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Kick on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for all new Bears podcast right here on Kick on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Kick on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.